Caddis Maximus here again, this time with a Milwaukee heavy duty whole hog. This is the famous whole hog, and these are quite the notorious drill. They're also very heavy duty and one of the first of the true stud and joist drills. This is a vintage unit from the 1970s. Here we can zoom in there. They really are called the whole hog. So these were sold in both single speed at 1200 RPM as well as a 2-speed, which is 300 RPM and 1200 RPM. It does give, this is an older model, so it gives you the full load specifications. It will be 750 RPM at full load in high and 200 at full load in low gear. So these were notorious because in low gear they have a 7.5 amp motor and they put out quite a bit of torque. But they are a pretty stubby drill. And often people would run them like this and without using the side handle. And you just can't control them. If the bit binds up or something in low gear, these don't have a clutch. And they have a tremendous amount of torque. And they're really notorious for pinching people and knocking them off the ladders and all sorts of stuff. If you ever are around construction, there'll be people with stories about what whole hogs have done. They also have this pinch point. It's kind of a folded drill, so here's the motor, and then you have the gear train on top, and then back down through for the chuck. So you have to be careful. This is a custom upgraded one with a 3/4 inch chuck. That's why it looks so big. This has a 5/8 spindle. And so I found a Jacobs chuck that was a 5/8 by 3/4 inch chuck, so I put it on there. Just so I could have extra clamping force on those bits because of the larger chuck. So the way it rotates, of course, you can get pinched in there, so you want to be careful. This is a vintage unit. The newer units are a little different. You know, the cord comes out of the back. This is reversible. I kind of like the one where the cord comes out of the top like this. They have a little bit bigger ventilation, and they have what's known as a key drive chuck, so they have like a crossbar. People are having issues where a bit would get stuck and they run it in reverse and it would break the lock screw that's in the middle of the chuck and the chuck would come unscrewed. So the newest ones, they've done something to mitigate that. One thing to note is Milwaukee doesn't do Type A, Type B. They do, but it's just through the serial numbers. Milwaukee is one of the best manufacturers. They have like a half a century of all their service diagrams. So you can find old Milwaukee tools and go to their website and actually find the service diagram for a tool that's decades old. This is a 40-year-old whole hog. When you go to the worksheet, you can Milwaukee's worksheets will tell you the year range of that range of serial numbers. So this is a 5000 series. If you get one that's prior to 5000 series, they actually had a 1/2 inch spindle, and enough of them broke where within the first 5000 units they revised it and gave it a 5/8 spindle. On these early ones, they actually included stainless steel Healy coils, and we'll show you guys those. See, those are actually Healy coiled from the factory, and so is the bolt hole for the handle. They don't do that anymore. And so I thought that was a great feature. That really made them extra heavy duty. Obviously, there's no issues with these threads. I wish they still did that. So anyway, these are the famous Milwaukee whole hog stud and joist drill. And it's just a quick overview. You want to be careful with these drills, but they are great for being compact. With the high speed, 1200 RPM, they're great for running smaller bits and then the high torque. So they can pretty much drive anything that you need. Plumbers, you know, use them for large hole saws and that kind of stuff. You just need to really watch what you're doing and make sure you have proper bracing. Find like the next stud or joist that have the side handle rest against, because you do want to be careful of these. Give it a quick run. They do have a pretty nice motor in them. Also, they have a special mechanism to make it easier to tighten the chuck, so all whole hogs do this. If you ever run into one, you're wondering why the chuck kind of freewheels back and forth. That's normal operation, just to make it a little easier to deal with. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Caddis Maximus out.